really fun version of Hero. That was fun. I was like, anyway, very cool. Y'all, let's bring Anthony up to the mic. Anthony had a hot take to my question. I said, Anthony, who is your celebrity crush? And he said, well, Baloo the Bear, I wanted to be just like him.
Well, teenage would be
Or Scarlett O'Hara as a teenager. Give it up for Anthony. It's your light.
It all started with a haircut. Louis the barber was also our neighborhood hairdresser, and also was the guy who knew everybody. He had a guy for everything, and I was his guy for rides. I would take the clients home, not too long, $5 here, $5 there. Then I got into some more longer rides when get some more money, and even get taken to lunch sometimes. So one time, then I turned 65 and I got drafted into the local senior citizen club, the Leisure Timers. And if I had $1 for every time I heard, don't get old, don't get old, don't get old, I would be a millionaire. So they had, I would also expand the client list to include those people, and toughest part was getting them in and out of the car and up and down the stairs. It was like a tsunami of durable medical goods getting over there. So the most memorable lady was Rose, who was 92 and feeble on the outside, but very strong on the inside. Her son died at the age of 60 when she was 90, and it was a crushing blow, of course, and she was out of bounds. She was away from us for like 2 months. When she finally made her way back, she was resilient. And she would say, when we would discuss it, that her mother had a saying, these things come to our door. And I said to her, well, why can't they go next door where nobody lives? So her closest friend was Fran. They were inseparable. And Fran was a member of the club. And one day, Monday after the club, Fran said, I'm going home to do laundry, and then I got a doctor's appointment on Wednesday. Wednesday came, the doctor called and said, where was Fran? So Rose called and there was no answer. Then Fran's brother called and told Rose, give the fire rescue team her key. So he did, and he went in and he went down to the basement. So Rose was inconsolable again. It was like 6 weeks she was out. But she did rally. She came back and said, well, these things come to our door. The latest thing that happened was a couple of weeks ago. She asked me, she said, Anthony, can you take me to the cemetery? She wanted to see her son's crypt. Now, if you've ever tried to navigate in a cemetery, your GPS is worthless. There are little stones with numbers on it that make no sense whatsoever. But he was in a mausoleum, so he went in the lower level, and he's all the way up at the top. And I knew she probably didn't have time to get flowers, so I clipped a bunch of roses from my backyard and gave it to her, and we put it in the fence. She said, Anthony, you think of everything. But she was concerned. She said, is there anything above here? I said, yeah, there's another level. She was worried that the rain would come in and get into her son's crypt. So she felt good about that. Then we drove around and we found her parents, though, with her mother, who had all the aphorisms. So we wound up having a good lunch. I got a $50 tip and lunch. So these are the things that happen when you're in the dying zone or the twilight zone. And are we ready? Yes. So I just think of this song when I think of what I do. When the end comes, I know they'll say just a gigolo, and life goes on without me. Just a gigolo. Everywhere I go, people know the part I'm playing. Pay for every ride, feeling dead inside. Every day some lunch I'm taking. There will come a day, they will all pass away. What will you say about me? When the end comes, I know you'll say, Geriatric Gigolo. And life goes on without me. Until then, I'm all by myself. In the morning, all by myself. In the night, I sit alone in a table and a chair, so unhappy there, playing solitaire. I'm all by myself, I get lonely, watching the clock on the shelf. I'd like to rest my weary head on somebody's shoulder. I hate growing older, all by myself. And there will come a day, they'll take my keys away. And then it'll come to my door.